Welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. You got to roll with it. They had it in post. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. This week brought to you by... Hopefully we can make this podcast. I'm not feeling... Oh, who do we got? I'm Gus.
Gavin.
Barbara.
Brandon. So, Gus,
I'm not feeling very well.
Do you keep the pillow behind you? I don't know the proper etiquette with the chair.
It's however you want it, baby.
You don't have to operate a chair.
It's also,
No,
I
well,
think
this
it's
specific chair.
It's the coloring behind you, I think, that adds to it, not the actual comfort
You haven't
level.
calibrated that chair yet.
No, I haven't. I like the couch. It's just being in the chair.
How do you like this couch?
Couch is
It's just
awesome.
being on the couch. I feel comfortable.
It sucks.
It looks
Great.
like your own
Nah.
hair is a
Yeah,
wig.
It's too late.
I'm giving you a solution.
Well, I never get to see Gavin anymore, so I like sitting next to Gavin.
Lame.
Just when I'm in the corner, I feel so much pressure.
No, it's like you're a king. You got your arms at your side, looking over your subject.
So why don't you
Wow.
think you'll make it through this podcast, Gus?
I've got potty problems.
What are your potty?
You got a bad anus?
I've got a bad anus right now. we recorded a podcast Let's Play a little while ago, and then afterwards, immediately I had to run to the bungalow.
Do you think it was just the excitement from that
No,
podcast?
because
Let's
then
Play?
again, right, we were sitting down at like 5 minutes before we went live. I was like, I had to run again.
Excitement for the podcast.
Should we place bets on which minute of the podcast?
I'm gonna try to tough it out. I'm hoping that beer will fix it.
So can you not play that game?
Someone gave me this at RTX. I don't know who it was.
I also got one with me on it
It's
as
got
well.
like a King Gus on it. It's a Yeti
Oh,
cooler.
that's nice.
It's like etched in. It's really cool.
Pretty sweet.
I also got this at RTX from, they didn't leave a name with it, but it's a little Orf pendant.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, and it's like
Don't
the
we
most
sell
amazing
that?
thing ever. I want us to sell this
Don't we
because
sell like a pin?
I would
badge
buy
thing?
this. We don't. We don't sell any Orf stuff, I don't think.
You sure?
Someone correct me if
Because
I'm wrong.
sucks.
What?
We sell Achievement Hunter pens.
We do. We
Is
sell a lot of
Orf your
pins.
favorite character?
Yeah. Orf is the most fun to voice because it's just like you could go pretty crazy and say the most ridiculous things and it's super cute. Like, suck my dick! Yay!
That'll never.
One day I hope to say that.
It's gonna be so many
Suck my
text
dick,
tones.
yay.
Yeah. Mostly the first part, but
You
the
saying
second
suck my
part,
dick
all
and
of
then
it together.
the
would
girl
be
saying yay,
pretty much-
maybe?
But Orf is kind
Right,
of
it would
demented
be-
too. So like, I imagine like a big penis actually shooting out of Orf.
Yeah.
And, like, her going straight down
Also,
someone's throat.
Orf is a girl, so I think. That's what Lindsay says.
Well, I mean, it's a robot, so it can be whatever you want it to
Why
be.
did you look at your watch?
Vibrate.
She's a robot.
Don't draw attention to it.
Yeah. That's
One of those.
Watch
that's the thing
buddies.
with the watch. Yeah, you two were fucking making your phones beep like assholes earlier.
Hey, I lost my phone. By that, I mean I left it with you guys.
It's actually a very good feature of the watch. Is that
Yeah.
you can just bing your phone without
Yeah,
having to
but
log in.
he had walked away from it for like 5 seconds. His
Yeah,
phone
I mean,
started
he's-
going
he's
off.
a-
Oh, I was
overusing
going to the bathroom and my phone has my key in it. So I was like, oh, crap. I can't get back in.
Your phone has your key in it.
Better find out
my
where it
key
is.
card.
Oh, is that in your phone case?
Yeah, it's in my phone case.
Oh, that's really anticlimactic. Do you
Well,
thi-
it seemed like there was like a brewing story.
It's
I thought
just
you
such
figured
an
out how to
annoying
like
sound.
pair it. Like Bernie's talked about how he wants to try to figure out how to like get his card, his access card in Apple Pay. Have you heard him talk about this?
Oh yeah, no, because it fucks up your phone every time you put it up to get your the card scan, which is actually in the sleeve on the case. It thinks you're doing Apple Pay, and it gets all confused.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like hold your finger down. I'm afraid I'm going to accidentally do that, and it's going to somehow charge me.
So every time you open the door, your phone's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Same thing with the gate too here, because I have to do the same thing there.
I
It just
hate
freaks
this
the fuck
gate.
out.
Why do you hate the gate?
I hate when people go to the gate who don't work here and they just sit at the gate and don't do anything and just wait for it to open while I'm sitting behind them with my key card ready to go.
What would you do in that position?
Move out of the way. I wouldn't park next to the call box
That's
if
how
I
they get
didn't
in.
have.
They got to dial in.
It's people who aren't even dialing. They're just waiting there for the gate to open.
Do you think they might have dialed? All right, wait. So which gate is worse, this gate or the one at the old office?
Well, you are the only one who had to deal with the old office gate.
Oh
so.
no, I'm not the only one. I mean, everybody did, right?
Audience, which is your least favorite gate?
The old
Right
gate.
in.
The old gate was fine. The old gate only acted up for me every now and then. You're the one who had to deal with it most of the time.
Yeah, there was one time where it was just like going fucking bonkers, and I knew how to fix it usually. Like I go in there, I rip off the like canister, and like push some buttons, but it just kept going nuts and opening and closing. I was like, this doesn't make sense. I know how this thing works. Why is it doing this? And I found out it was Michael in his apartment just like hitting the open button on his remote.
I think Michael told that story on a podcast one time where he was watching you fix the gate from his new apartment, which could see the gate of the old office.
Yeah.
And every time you'd fix it and it would start closing and you'd walk away, he'd wait just for it to close and then he would click it and it would open.
I knew someone was doing something because it's a very simple device.
He was watching and getting more and more frustrated.
It was a Friday night, and I might have had plans.
I like to think those were Michael's plans. He was like, I was going to sit out here with a beer on my patio.
Yeah, I'm going to see how long I can keep Brandon at the office.
Fuck with Brandon all night.
There's a lot lot of people who would do that. I would spend my entire Friday night doing that.
What, messing with Brandon?
Yeah.
Well, it's just you're very good to mess with.
Why
You always give a
Friday
good
night?
reaction.
Any
Maybe
night.
I have things to do and people.
Let's be honest. You don't.
Oh.
Oh.
Especially last month, my girlfriend has been out of town.
Where?
So I do nothing in Mexico.
Oh.
She's doing all the visa stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you
Been
go
there, my
like
friend.
Yeah,
this?
that's what I'm saying. Because this, you know.
You know what that's like.
It sucks.
Yeah, so
I,
she's back.
I feel weird that we're actually doing a podcast on Monday night. Like we haven't done a podcast on Monday night. I think like in 3 weeks because we've had last week we pre-taped with Felicia Day. Then the week before was RTX.
The week before was RTX?
Oh no, wait. The week before was what?
No, you
Was it?
didn't.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago was the 10th. Yeah. We
Because
played the
RTX was
RTX
filmed
one. Yeah,
before. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
it's scary.
Man. It does feel kind of unnatural at this point.
It's only been 2 weeks. Yeah, so then 3 weeks ago was the last time we were here. On
Felicia
a
Day
Monday
was
night.
awesome.
I thought that podcast went really well. I was really happy
Yeah,
with
she
it.
fit in with
she's
you
really
guys really
cool.
well.
She was a great guest.
Yeah.
Now she tweets me pictures of plane wheels.
Aw.
Did you see? So someone who actually works at an airport tweeted us a video of that device in action.
Yeah.
What's
Like,
the device?
you know how on a jetway that attaches to the plane, like where you walk off, like the cover comes and closes. There's like a wheel that like stick comes out and like touches the aircraft. Gavin was trying to speculate as to what that wheel does, and you were right. Yes. You were dead on as to what that wheel does.
I
And so
feel like-
someone who works on a jetway sent us that video. Don't roll your eyes at me. I'm explaining.
Okay.
And the first video he sent wasn't very clear that what it was doing, but then the second video he starts moving it, and then an
Yeah, it was
alarm
like,
started going off. But yeah, it levels the thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So every now and then, Gus, I go to you and I'm like, oh, I watched this new episode of Airplane Disasters. And we like talk about it a little bit. I've seen probably maybe about 60 episodes or so. And it's to the point where I feel like the next time I fly on a plane, I kind of want to go talk to the pilot and be like, look, I've seen the shit. If something goes wrong in this flight, come to me. And I
Why?
could seriously help you out.
I'm pretty sure whatever you know, the pilot knows as well.
No, well, that's the problem, though, is most of those, or a lot of those, are pilot error.
So
And
you're
they're like, they
saying
don't know what to do in a
if the
situation,
pilot's
they get freaked
confused,
out.
He should leave the cockpit, come and get you, and you'll fix the plane?
Yeah.
Brandon Farmahini, could you report to the flight deck,
Earlier,
please?
Brandon came in to talk about an episode of Air Disasters. He's like, "Oh man," he's like, "I saw this new one the other day. This plane took off and the engine like flew off, and the pilots didn't know what was going on, and they stalled and they crashed." I was like, "Oh, was that American 191?" He goes, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh yeah, that's an interesting one."
No, about
Fucking nerd.
Taking the steam out.
I was like, "Oh right. The maintenance people, instead of taking the engine off the pylon, they took the pylon
exactly,
off too,
yeah.
and then they cracked it, and then he realized it. He was like." It was like just off the top of my head. I was like, "Oh yeah, I know that one."
The saddest part about that is they had no idea there was something wrong with the plane because the warning was powered by the engine they lost.
that
And
seems
I would
like
know
a flawed
that.
system.
Do you have any like not rituals, but things you do every time you board a plane or that you're on a plane? That
I
you
watch-
do like
Yeah.
for good
There's
luck.
something I have to do every time I get on a plane.
Do you touch the outside of the plane?
I sleep. I get in and just immediately try to follow. It's not for luck. It's just I want to get off that fucking plane as fast as possible.
Do you even do it like on Dallas to Austin or
Yeah,
something? It's like
fucking
30
sleep.
minutes.
But no ritual other
What do
than
you
that.
do?
I don't have anything. I just watch how many people touch the outside of the plane. Like
The what?
It seems like 80% of people boarding a
I
plane.
traveled with Bethany and she does that. She touches the outside of the plane, and then I think Jordan
Like for
Swears.
luck?
Yeah.
Just like it's like
What if we find out like you don't want me doing that?
The acid.
Because my
Yeah.
acid would eat through it. Like we'd be up at
Instantly.
35,000 feet and we'd have explosive decompression because I touched the plane.
Then I think Jordan Swears always looks at the like year the plane was built because it's
And that's his good luck.
it's written on the outside.
That
Yeah,
would
he like
freak you
always
out.
has to know.
Planes, they use planes for a really
And
long
like
time.
I don't want to do any of that stuff. I don't want to touch the plane. I don't want to know when it was built. I don't want to know anything about the plane that I'm about
You
to
don't
get
want to
on.
know when it was built.
No, I don't know anything.
It's like, man.
So whenever I travel with Jordan, he's like, 2002. And I'm like, shut up.
It's a new plane.
There
Would
was
it, would it weird you out if someone did that, but when they touched it, they looked left and right and then kept walking? Like, and they kept
Would
going.
you be weirded out
really.
if someone
No.
rubbed Vaseline on the outside of the plane?
of
To make
course.
it,
Yeah.
make it faster?
It's just,
You wouldn't know what it was. You'd just see like some goop on the outside of the plane.
What if someone like licked the plane?
What
For
if you
good
made
luck.
the plane go faster?
Maybe airlines should be
Looped
doing
it
that. Someone's who is this on Twitter? Hold that ghost saying that Brandon, your girlfriend's out of town. You're wearing a wrist brace. 1 + 1 = 2, right?
Yeah. People are like, oh, well, just use your left hand. It's like a whole new thing. I'm like, it just, I mean, you know, I have a man's hand. It just feels like there's some dude, you know.
So it feels,
Jerking me.
So it doesn't feel like someone else. It just feels like a different dude.
It feels like a different dude. It feels like somebody else. I'm like, oh, okay, this is interesting.
So what do you do?
It's more like
You just-
with the tip of my fingers.
that's not the sound you want to make when you're doing that.
That's the sound I make. And get the Vaseline. Suck my dick. Yay.
Just go couch surfing.
Couch surfing. What's couch surfing?
Do you guys know what couch surfing is?
Please
Isn't that where
explain
you-
couch surfing
Isn't
to
that where you
us.
sleep on someone's couch? What?
It's when you put something in between the couch cushions, like something squishy, like an apple pie or.
A vagina.
That's not a thing.
or
Men
so-
don't do that.
And then you go down stomach first and use
And
the.
you ruin your couch by smearing
Oh, so it's
apple
in
pie
between the
all
two
over it.
cushions?
I don't know if you put something in between the cushions or not, but you use the cushions as like
That's way too much
a
work.
fake vagina.
I've heard of people shagging like bags of Vaseline that's under their mattress.
Bags of Vaseline.
Like a sandwich bag of Vaseline. You put it under the mattress.
Like a
And then
Ziploc?
just bang the side of your bed.
That's so weird.
I've heard that.
Yeah,
that's the
I
thing
mean,
people do.
however people want to do it.
Aren't
know?
you afraid that
No
you're gonna
judgment.
catch like the? Oh, never mind.
Do it.
No, like it's what is the urethra opening?
Urethra is the
Right,
It's
the
the
opening to
tube.
it. What do you call the opening?
Your
Well, I
pee
mean-
hole.
Pee hole.
it's the urethra.
if you were
technically.
if you would catch that on like a sheet, like the very,
what
and
do
it
you
would like
mean? It's
pull
not
it.
sticking out. What are you talking
Well,
about?
if it got in there and it just no, trust me, tonight, give it a try.
Brandon's urethra like protrudes from his bell end. What
No,
are
it
you
doesn't
talking
protrude.
about?
But if you got in,
It's
if
like
it's
the
the right
size of a
angle, it
quarter.
would pull on it
No, what would? The bag of
like a
Vaseline?
sheet, yeah, or anything you were rubbing on it or like into it.
And people say vaginas are weird. Like, my God.
I just don't see. Like, I'd like to see an animation of what you actually mean there. Like, what is going into your penis hole?
Because it's flesh, so it'll stretch.
Don't do the goatsy thing with your bell end. What are you doing?
No, I'm saying it's you're not stretching it as you're like rubbing against it. There's just going to be the natural friction of
You're
whatever
also,
it is.
Gavin's not circumcised. You have to remember that. So he might have a different experience.
No, but you got it's like all like
I just hate the hand motions he's doing because I know he's describing a penis. It's
no
just
with the
like worst.
circumcised. You just like you pull it back, right?
It's like a
a-
turtleneck.
It's like a turtle. Yeah, exactly. Surprise.
Jinx.
Damn
Try it
animal.
tonight. You'll see what I mean. You'll come
Try
tomorrow.
fucking my mattress? No, I'm not. I'm not going to try that tonight.
I can't believe that people really do that. This seems like way too much work.
Do you think it
I'm
would,
way
if,
too lazy.
Is
do
that
you
a
think it would
different
feel
section on your
different
spreadsheet?
depending on what sleep number you chose?
What's the skankiest sleep number?
Do you think you could go to the mattress store and explain the situation and be like, well, how,
What is
how
it?
would the Vaseline?
My
in this
girlfriend's out
model-
of town.
What is
for a
that sleep
month.
number crap? Is that just like they just pump air into it?
Yeah, basically. Just like makes it more firm, more pressure in there.
Do you have one of those?
Uh-huh.
Is
Oh, you do?
higher
Yeah.
softer or higher firmer?
Higher is more firm.
What's your sleep number?
I think mine is 45 or 50. No, it's higher than that. 65, I
Oh,
think.
so you're
So,
like pretty much.
If you
in
and
the-
Esther sort of get it on, do you change to like a softer?
So
Do you have a shag number? That's
since I have like my bed can do two different numbers. So she sleeps on a more firm side and mine's more soft.
You sleep on a softer side than Esther?
Yeah.
I would never expect that.
I'm a pretty princess. I require the softest.
I really
sleep.
want you to have a crown just like drop down from the sky onto your head right now. Ding.
Pretty princess
room for the
with
GIF. All right.
explosive poop.
Explosive
diarrhea.
poop.
Didn't you say you had a poop story?
Yeah. I don't know how I came across this, but apparently there's this museum in Japan, and they have a whole exhibit just teaching kids about poop. And there's an actual slide that you go down into that's made the shape of a toilet bowl. So it's like made to make poop fun and exciting.
Wasn't there a Simpsons episode like that, like where they go through a human body?
Oh.
Was that Simpsons?
I think so.
I think they were basing it on something. There's
it's like
this-
when they think Maggie's a genius.
How big would a human have to be for you to fit through it? Like if it was in a like an amusement slide, you climb in the mouth. Like how tall would the bloke have to be?
Oh, is this the museum here?
Oh.
Oh,
is
so
that
you
it?
wear a piece of turd on your head.
Well, it's like, oh yeah, it is like yellow
I
turtle.
love those hats. I want one of those
Me
hats.
too. That doesn't look like a toilet.
Brandon, what are you? That
Wait.
Brandon has something else pulled up on.
No,
the Apple
you don't
TV.
show that one.
Oh, you can't show this?
It's blurred.
It's blurred.
Yeah, show it. Why not?
I,
I mean, at the
So
moment we're
in this
looking at-
article, there's a link to a story on a different exhibit in
Oh, my
Japan.
God.
And it's about the human body.
I like how the things. Alan texted you, by the way.
We
I like
blurred
how
the
thing-
anus because-
the person's exhaling. Look at the puff of breath coming out of their
Yeah.
mouth. Like, this is really uncomfortable.
I like they blurred the anus because it's an anus, and they blurred the kid's eyes to protect his identity.
Well, that's a
Kid's eyes blurred.
that's a Japanese porn thing, right? Like all
But that's
of
not a point.
Maybe
I know,
that-
but I'm saying in general, like anything like butts and like anything down there has to be blurred.
Maybe
right?
it's not blurred.
really?
Maybe that's
Yeah.
just the way the painting looks. Has anyone thought of that?
That's also the exhibit. Like it's a pixelated curtain that you walk in to go in the
Yeah.
butthole.
It's like our blur short.
That's gross.
Oh, there's the uncensored version.
Is she crying? Like, what is?
So I saw
mind.
also that I think there's like I forget where it is, somewhere in Japan. There's a poop inspired curry place that
Christ.
serves you like curry in what looks like a toilet. It's really disgusting.
Don't they sell mugs also that look like toilets? And when you have like or hot chocolate or coffee in there, and it looks like diarrhea.
Gross.
I've seen pictures of this before.
Would you drink from that?
Yeah, I think that's funny. I'd also put like little marshmallows in it too.
Floaters.
What would be God, pieces of sweet corn?
Yeah.
That's so weird. I always get weirded out. Like whenever I see corn, I'm like, when did I eat corn? Like
You
whenever
see
it happens, it's
corn
like,
in your.
yeah, and I'm
your
like,
shit.
I don't remember eating corn.
Wait, do you turn around and inspect, or
when I
do
go
you
to
just happen
flush.
to like see through the?
when I go to flush,
Okay.
you just happen to look.
Yeah, but are you looking for that?
Oh, there's
or-
the curry in the little toilet.
That looks-
Ew. It actually
That's
looks like
disgusting. Oh God. Is it off?
shit. Now
It's
I want
gone.
curry. Can I
No,
get some curry?
poop.
Poop, poop.
It makes me nauseous.
Okay, I think we're gonna lose Gavin too. It was food. You could eat that. Don't be grossed out. It's totally natural.
Your eyes
it's
are
just
so
curry.
red.
Everything is gross because of context.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, the poop condoms.
No,
Oh, no,
don't start
no.
this again.
Why'd you bring that up? That's like one of the most like commented stories ever on Reddit, I think, right? Or one of the most upvoted ever.
Now I gotta get someone else say something. I gotta get that image out of my
Do
head.
you guys
Did you make me
upvote?
cough up my stitches?
Yeah, Gavin just had his
His
Gavin
wisdom?
just had his wisdom teeth out the other day.
Yeah, my wisdom tooth is hurting.
What did they put you under? Like fully under or anything?
Yeah, they said they were going to sedate me. I assume that's what that is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything of it. They put me on oxygen, so I was just like breathing oxygen. I could hear my heart rate, which was high. Apparently, I was scared. And then they gassed me with the laughing gas.
Like, did they just change it? Like, you have the mask as pure oxygen.
Yeah.
Then, like, all of a sudden, like the pink gas comes in, and then you're just like out.
Yeah, I
of
was
They
like-
tell you to count back for.
No,
backwards from
I
10?
was just talking to them on the oxygen, and then without telling me, they just switched on the gas. And I was like, and everything in my ears was like, and I was like, you turned it on, didn't you? And they're like, yup. And I was just thinking of all these different things, and I think I said, man, people must talk a lot of shit to you while they're and I just went out.
Would it be funny if you get like
They
a?
they were on, I was on a drip as well, so they just turned that on.
Oh
while,
yeah,
while I
that's
was
how
on
they
the gas.
administer it. They don't actually give you gas, right?
They gassed me to put the drip in, and then they turned on the drip, and
I always
I
thought
was
it-
just loopy.
I always wanted to like, because I've been under more than a few times. I always wanted to be able to get some kind of like mobile system set up to where it could be administered. You know, wouldn't have to be at a bed, and then start running on a track, and then
Your
like
head's so
start it,
hard.
and then see how long it takes, and how if you're just like a slow fall, or if it's just like
It's amazing how fast acting that stuff is.
yeah,
Yeah, like
just-
you think you
you're
can
out.
fight it,
Yeah.
but then it's there's
Just-
no
just
way.
immediately give up.
Did
Well,
you
even
say
if
anything?
you focus all of your energy on like, I'm really gonna fight. I'm gonna go for as long as screw it. Immediately, it's like give up drugs.
Well, the scariest thing to me, you know, is we talked about this when I had my my thing years ago, was that when they give you like the Twilight stuff where you don't fall asleep, you just don't make any memories. Like you're still awake.
Weird.
I think that's what I was on.
Yeah, and it's like with me, like I was just an asshole. It was like unfiltered asshole, and with no memory of it. Like you wake up. Well, in my case, I woke up and my wife's mad at me.
I would be so afraid if I was awake during my procedure and didn't know it. Like, just in fear of what I would say to someone.
Yeah.
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 I'm happy that I got put out completely.
It's like
'cause
that,
I would rather just be asleep and look disgusting than
It's like
be
that
like,
old girl, that old video of that girl who's having her wisdom teeth removed. She's like, I want to have sex with Ryan Gosling.
Didn't she talk about, or wasn't there a video of a girl who's like, I want a big cock?
No.
Yeah.
She was like, it was the same girl. She said, I want to suck white dick.
I mean, to be fair, you know,
And then you never see the mom, but
Yeah.
you'd like see an arm reach out, like, stop that. And, like,
because she
knock
was
the phone
talking
out
about
of
her
head.
doctor too, who was in the room,
Yeah, like, my
right?
doctor's so hot.
What, did you say anything after when you woke up? that
There's
you
a
remember?
video that we took of me afterwards. But yeah, I don't think I was actually asleep. I think I was just so loopy. I actually don't have a single memory of any tooth coming out, and I had 4 wisdom teeth removed.
Were they impacted?
No, they're all through. One of them was kind of like crooked up against my other tooth, and it was just smacking into it. So I just got on with
Hadn't
that.
you not been to the dentist in like 10 years or something like that before?
Yeah.
Wow. What a way to start.
So whenever like we talk about, you know, the different types of like wisdom tooth extractions here in the U.S., I'm always really interested because people in the UK or people in Europe will always reply and say like, why do people in America get put out? Like, why do you get knocked out? You know, in Europe or in the UK, it's just like you just go in and they just pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if you had the option, wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, I've been awake, like not lucid, like completely awake for like mouth procedures. It's horribly
Yeah.
terrifying
I wouldn't
because
wanna feel
you
the
can't
pressure.
feel it, but you can hear it.
Oh.
And that's
smell
the
it.
thing that drives you insane. But it's ugh.
Does it sound like a champagne cork coming out?
Well, no. So what they had to do is I had like a receding gum line, like right here. So they had to do a graft. So they cut gum from the top of my like mouth.
Oh my God, they do that?
Yeah, they cut like a long rectangle, and then they sewed it here. But before they did
What?
that, they had to take out the gum that was there. So they
What?
had to like scrape all the existing gum out and then like tape it or like sew it back onto this one place. So
That-
it's like a different color, see?
Oh, it is a different color. Oh my God.
And then I had it done a second time on this side.
Have you guys ever needed to get a tooth filed down?
No.
That's the worst because usually you don't feel it, but you could hear it and smell it because you.
Oh, it burns. Yeah, I smell the
it's
burning.
grinding down the bone, so it like chips away, and you smell the burning of your tooth. It's disgusting.
Ugh.
But yeah, there was one time there was no countdown. I just fell asleep and woke up, and I was like, "What's going on? Are we still having surgery?" They're like, "Oh no, you're finished." And I was like, "What?" Like I
Cool.
felt cheated.
Why? You wanted to feel it?
Yeah, I just wanted to know. It was like the whole thing was over, and I never got to like, you know, not I don't know. You feel like you just want to be like taken throughout that whole process. I just felt a little like not abused, but unappreciated.
What was the first time you ever got like put under?
I think it was my first knee surgery on my right knee.
How old were you?
Geez, how old are you in 6th grade?
12?
Maybe.
Yeah, 12 or 13, I think.
Yeah, 12.
No, 12.
What about you, Gavin?
First surgery?
No, the first time you were like put under, knocked out.
Yeah, when my ball exploded.
All right, so you're older.
First and only time was when I got my wisdom teeth out. Never been put under before. I got some. I don't know what the actual name for this type of gas is, but it makes you feel like you've had like a few cocktails. So you're just like,
That's what they call laughing gas, right? Or
Yeah.
nickname
But-
laughing gas.
isn't laughing gas different?
I don't know.
It's like some like, not Twilight, but you just feel very like, you're cool. And you're just like, yeah, what's up, doc?
What about you guys?
I think the first time I was put under was when I had my tonsils out when I was like 10. But like at 10, and maybe you had the same experience when you're 12, it's like you don't appreciate it or you don't fully understand it.
I just wanted to go to Toys R Us after. Like literally when we were in the car leaving, I wanted because I was like, I deserve this.
Did you
I'm
go?
having surgery. No, I didn't go.
You didn't get to go to Toys R Us.
No, literally in the car driving back from the hospital, I was like, I want to go to Toys R Us right now.
Seems like the perfect opportunity to go.
Yeah, you think so?
And have someone else pick out a toy for you because you can't walk.
Yeah.
So I had my tonsils out when I was like 10, I think. And a few years ago, I went to the doctor, probably like 3 years ago, I went to the doctor here in Austin. And I had a cold or something. So like the doctor was checking me out. He's like, he looks in my ear, you know, he does that thing, looks in my ear, then like gets a tongue depressor, looks down my throat. He's like, well, yeah, your tonsils look fine. And I was like, I had my tonsils removed when I was 10. And he goes, what? I go, my tonsils were removed when I was 10. Then he gets a tongue depressor and like looks again. He goes, oh yeah, I guess there's like little nubs there or something. I was like, I don't know. I was like, he's like, you're full of shit. You fucking liar.
Was he just phoning it in?
I don't know. I was
So
like,
either he just didn't care, or whoever took your tonsils out botched it.
Yeah,
Like,
did a
left
fucking-
half a tonsil.
so I don't know what the right answer is.
What is a tonsil for? It's like immune system stuff.
It's for making you sick? I don't know.
Did you really get ice cream, or is that just some,
I got
conspiracy?
sherbet.
Oh.
I love
Close
sherbet,
enough.
so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was not worth it.
Not to be
'Cause my
confused
throat-
with the UK version of sherbet, which is powder.
Is it powder?
Yeah.
For
What is the UK? I didn't know there's another. I didn't know there was sherbet.
Sherbet for you is like it's cold, right? It's like ice,
Right.
It's like sorbet.
It's like ice
almost.
cream. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a sorbet. Exactly.
Yeah, sherbet's just like sour powder.
Weird. What's that for? Like for making a drink or something?
It's so you can do this.
Like a snack? Do you dip something
Nah,
in
yeah,
it and
you can
lick
like
it?
dip stuff in it, and you can have like a sherbet lemon.
See, I know we
That's
have
okay.
those like dip and sticks thing that's like a candy stick
Oh,
that you
yeah.
lick and dip in some like
sugar and
Just-
sugar.
Yeah,
sour
just dip.
powder.
Yeah, dip like solid sugar into like powdered sugar.
That stuff's good.
That was
yeah.
good. I really want to get one
Imagine you
now.
pouring powdered sherbet all over your tonsils.
But yeah, so
Coughing
I
it
got-
up and be like-
"Oh, sure, it was not worth it. My throat was on fucking fire."
For how long?
The first day was really bad. The second day still really hurt, but by the third day it was better.
Maybe it was amplified because you were a kid.
And maybe it was amplified because they didn't take my fucking tonsils out. they
just
opened it up and
poked
like,
around in there
just
for
like
a
screwed
while.
around. There you go.
I
been,
should have had my tonsils out as a kid, but I didn't.
Maybe
got
they took it
tonsillitis?
out, but
All
like
the
they're
time.
growing back. Maybe you're some kind of weird superhuman.
Oh, is this your version of sherbet? Sherbet?
Yeah, some sherbet.
Oh, weird.
Sherbet, not sherbet.
That looks fucking gross.
Ours is also sherbet.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Maybe ours is sherbet.
No, that's BET.
Yeah, maybe that's wrong. I don't know. There's a difference somewhere. But yeah, I'm basically I'm just pretty crabby and like low energy because I haven't been eating very much.
You seem like it.
Yeah.
You seem crabby
I've been
today.
eating soup and it sucks and I want to bite stuff.
When do you
Did you
think
bleed out of your mouth on Friday?
That's me after I have my tonsils.
you have the
out.
most serene look on your face?
I
I
felt-
swear I've seen that
felt
look on
good,
Jeff's
man.
face before.
You have like cartoon hair in that picture too.
Well, I was wearing a hairnet. They pulled it off.
That's
'Cause
like-
they don't want tooth dust getting in my
The rest
hair.
of it just
That's like Jeff in the ball pit. It has like the same look on his face.
What's that thing sticking out of your mouth? Like gauze?
Yeah,
It looks like tusks.
Man, they didn't.
I like a really happy walrus.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had the same experience when Esther had her wisdom teeth out. You know, they give you the gauze and everything, and they tell you like when to change it and how to change it and everything. And when they were, they explained it to me because Esther was, still recovering from the effects of the crazy gas.
Yeah.
And
Crazy guy.
and so like I'm like, yeah, totally, I get it, I understand it, I know how to do this. So we get home and she's like, oh, I want some water. It's like, okay, well, we're gonna need to change your bandages out. Nothing prepares you for like exactly how gruesome the first time you do that process is. It's like, I was like, all right, well, let's just take those out. Oh my God, there's blood everywhere. But you don't want to freak out. So I'm like, all right, a little bit of blood. Gonna get some gauze. Gonna see what we can do about that.
Yeah, when
Just to tilt your head back a little.
when I had to change mine for the first time, it was probably the second time we changed them. And I pulled them out, and they were just like caked in like dark red blood. And I was like, oh, that's disgusting. And I felt something still on there. I was like, oh, I guess some of it like ripped off or something. So I went, and like a big lump of just blood. It was like just like goopy blood.
It was like the scab or
congealed-
something.
Yeah, like the blood clot or something. It just went into the sink, and I was like, oh God.
Gross.
And I was like poking it. It was disgusting.
Did you try talking at all the first day you had it?
Yeah.
Did you bleed out? You didn't like start bleeding out of your mouth?
No, yeah, I bled a lot through my mouth.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
Not really.
It's
Oh.
cool.
It's just
Not
Yeah,
really.
I know. I did that.
I'm
Like,
gonna get
I
dry
wasn't thinking of
sockets.
it. I called a friend because you're just so out of it. And then I was like, oh man, I'm like bleeding out of my mouth right now. I'm like, oh, this looks awesome.
You're just standing in the
You're such
mirror
a-
like,
Your silver lining is also like the creepiest lining ever.
How's that? Oh yeah, no. I didn't answer that. Well, like I'm not gonna bleed in a cool way. Any other? I'm not gonna get like a cool scar. or
bleeding through your
anything,
mouth
like-
is a cool thing.
No, I guess not. I guess like it's a controlled way to bleed.
What are you talking about?
Like, it's like
Any
in that
wound-
situation, if I just had surgery and I'm bleeding out of my mouth, I'm like, you know what? I'm okay. This is a normal thing. If I was bleeding this much at a random situation, that would not be good for me.
Call an ambulance.
Yeah, call an ambulance. But it's like right now, Brandon, this is a controlled bleed. Everything is all right.
What the hell is wrong with you?
You don't think it's?
It's
Have you ever
really
bled
not-
a lot out of something?
I can't imagine
Once a
like,
month.
bleeding like that and being like, it's okay. It's a control bleed.
Thanks, Patrick.
It's like not a.
You killed the control room.
It's just not a bleed you got to worry about. But
It
it's
is
like
a bleed
lot
you
of
gotta worry
You got to
about.
worry about any bleed.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like understandable. You're like, yeah, I'm bleeding. I just got mouth surgery. I'm all right.
What about nosebleed?
Those are scary.
Oh yeah, that's scary.
But that's
But I don't know why
that
I'm
doesn't
having
look
a
cool,
nosebleed.
Gavin. That's cool. Bleeding
Do I
from
know
your
the-
mouth.
wait,
I'm
do
not
I
in
know why?
control. I'm not in control.
You're just standing in the mirror with the blood dripping down your face, like
You're looking at yourself
yes.
like, cool.
Well, maybe. Yeah, but you don't know why you have a nosebleed. That's scary. But I'm saying if you know why and it's not a big deal, you don't have to worry about it, then everything's okay. And you just enjoy it. You're like, that looks awesome.
You're special.
Yeah, you're an interesting guy,
You're
Brandon.
a special one.
Here, I'm gonna read this. I want to remind everyone this episode of the podcast is brought to you by... Oh, so I read a story earlier today about this really weird, dumb criminal. There's this guy who decided he wanted to break into a convenience store, so he climbed up on the roof and climbed in through the grease trap to get into the convenience store. But rather than like break in and steal the cash register, he stole, I think it was like a ham sandwich, which he ate there in the store. 2 bottles of juice and 3 packs of cigarettes.
And he still came in through the grease trap?
He came in through the grease trap on the ceiling. Like, I don't know why the grease trap's on the ceiling either. Crawls into the convenience store.
What's a grease trap?
It's like when you fry stuff, you know, all the used oil. It's like where the used oil goes.
Why are they frying stuff in a convenience store?
Maybe they sell like French fries.
Yeah, like or probably like shitty hot dogs or something.
Yeah.
And they so after he like eats his sandwich and drinks his juice, he's gonna leave. He just realizes that all of the windows are barred, but he's covered in grease. So he tries to like squeeze out through them, and then he gets stuck.
I loved it to see like that moment. He's like, oh, covered in grease.
He got the
also
top
love he
half of
went
his
to all
body
that
out. He was
trouble.
like stuck at his waist, and the cop said that when the cop showed up, he said he saw the guy like half sticking out, and the guy said, "Help me, I'm stuck and I need a poop."
Oh,
There it is. Oh, that's a. I guess is that it?
they could
This
have
is
gotten that good of a
Rotterdam PD. I think
picture.
this story was in Florida, but it probably looked artist interpretation.
It looks similar.
It probably
to that.
looks something like that.
That is quite a way to go to get a free sandwich. Like, why don't you just break into like a Subway or something?
Or just steal a sandwich from a convenience store that's open.
Yeah.
I just like his priorities. He's like, officer, I really gotta poop.
I gotta poop.
It's funny. There was another story about a guy who got arrested and he really had to piss, and he was in the back of a cop car, and apparently this happens a lot where guys had to just pee, and he was like super drunk, got arrested for a DWI, and the cop just told him, just go in your pants. That's just what they do. He's like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to mess anything up. So he tried to be considerate, I guess, and in the backseat of the cop car, piss outside the window just because he's a nice guy. But I guess he couldn't get enough of a powerful stream, so he ended up just pissing all over the side of the cop
The
car.
window?
Yeah.
I'm surprised
Like on the
that
inside?
windows roll down in
no,
cop
on like the
cars.
outside.
Oh, okay.
Just got it like completely
Do you
like
think
I
they
would-
have wipers for that?
on the side.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I would think that windows on the side of cop cars like just wouldn't roll down, or they'd be locked constantly.
I think that if they can roll down, they have bars in them.
Yeah, I guess so.
I
I
think
thought it was just bars between the front seat and the back seat. So like, or like a
That's
plexiglass.
a cab.
Gotta stay safe in a cab.
Yeah, it's a difference. I don't understand like the disparity in like cab security. Like you get in a cab in Austin and there's pretty much like no barrier between the back seat and the front seat. But like you get in a cab in some cities and it's like the driver is encased
Yeah.
like in a plexiglass container.
And you have to pay them through like a little slot.
Right, there's like a little like
Open up.
slot you can exchange stuff through, but like even the passenger seat is like blocked off.
Is it just by the crime rate of the city, probably?
I guess.
In New
Like
York,
New York
that's
has
what
it.
all cabs look like,
Yeah.
pretty much, right?
Yeah.
They all have that plexiglass.
It's just insane to me, like how different those could be.
What could you get through that plexiglass? You think?
Oh no,
Try
no
it.
way.
Really?
With what? Like with just your body? No, definitely not.
I mean, yeah, get like a hammer.
I don't think so. I mean, the thing can stop bullets, right?
Can it really?
I imagine that's why they use it. It'd be pretty worthless if you could still hold a gun up and like.
Yeah, but if people
Yeah.
think that it can stop bullets, case in point.
Ricochet against it into your head.
Pretty sure it can't
No,
stop a
bulletproof.
bullet.
I mean, that would be really expensive, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
What if it's just really thick plexiglass? It could stop it, right?
What if you just shot a lot in the ceiling, stuck your hand out, and then shot back down?
It's a lot of effort to shoot a cab driver. When
Yeah, if you're
I
gonna-
when I was in high school, I took a self-defense class, and they teach you to sit, if you're getting in a cab and you're alone, they teach you to sit right behind the driver because it's the hardest place for him to like reach around to get you if he's trying to grab at you. Because if you're sitting next to him, obviously it's easy. If you're sitting like across from him, it's
Yeah.
easy. So I have a habit of sitting like right behind the driver, even if it's like,
It's minimal leg room.
yeah, it's usually the
that
worst
would creep,
seat.
that would creep me out.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're, yeah.
But
ladies,
I'm
if you're ever in
paranoid
a car
about
alone-
somebody like choking me.
What, when you drive cabs?
No, just drive like in just anybody in the back seat, like behind me.
Just your friends in there.
Yeah,
Just like they might choke you.
yeah, like just anybody. It's like, have you ever gotten someone like at a barber shop to actually give you a custom
Like
shave?
with a
A
cutthroat
custom
razor?
shave?
Yeah, or like a.
I want a
with
bee
a
carpet.
razor, like a hard razor.
Yeah. No, I've never done that.
Would you do it?
No.
Why?
I get nervous about that. Like they'll trim me with the straight razor, like on the back, like on my neck. But as far as the full shave, no.
I think
I'll
your
just do that
Adam's
myself.
apple is too lumpy
Well,
to
I
get
also-
a good. It would like get in all the nooks.
I also get paranoid because, like, you see, I've got like this birthmark. I've got a couple of birthmarks like this that like stick
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Oh.
That's a mole.
Mole, whatever. So it's like I'm always paranoid that someone's gonna. Can you see it? I don't know.
Beauty
Just mop
mark.
it
So
off.
you're afraid that
That
something
someone's gonna like cut it off.
they would accidentally hurt you.
Yeah,
Apparently they don't bleed. They don't stop bleeding when you cut a mole off.
that's what I've heard.
Weird. Like, why is that? Like the
Do you
blood,
think it looks cool?
the platelets.
See, that's not a controlled bleed.
Controlled bleed.
That's not a controlled bleed. You cut a mole off, start bleeding. That's a problem.
Yeah,
That's
so-
the problem when you bleed from anywhere.
No, not.
Is
you
it just
know.
like the platelets can't form where a mole was?
I
Like,
think it's
why
just
ca-
there's a lot of blood flow there. Like there's a lot of veins that go, or a lot of vascular infrastructure.
Do you
there.
ever get those checked out?
Yeah, I have had a couple removed before.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So just because I mean, there's nothing like bad with them, but it doesn't hurt to.
Yeah,
be
I just
proactive
know
about
that
it.
like it's good to keep them checked out because those are more likely to get cancer.
Hey.
Yeah,
Put the
it's
C
your
word.
back. Like if it's on your
I
back.
shouldn't say that because I jinxed you with the shingles. So
You absolutely did.
I'm not going to jinx you with you.
Oh man, the other
The C word.
speaking of doctor stuff. Last week was it last week? Yeah. I went to the doctor. I've got apnea, so like when I'm asleep, I stop breathing a lot, and it makes me snore like crazy. So Esther finally convinced me to go to the doctor to get it checked out. So I go to the doctor, and it's like a specialist who who treats all this stuff. He says, okay, there's a couple of different things we can do. First, we have to measure your apnea. He goes, we can do it one of two ways. He
Did
goes,
you have to sleep in front of him?
I'm going to get to that. The first way is, we can do a sleep study where you go to a facility and like doctors watch you sleep and they hook you up to stuff. And he's like, but that's like $3,000 a night.
Whoa!
And I was like, what's the other option?
It's not covered by health insurance?
No.
How do I get that
one is
job?
not. So then I was like, well, what's the other option? He goes, well, the other option is we give you like this take-home kit, and you like hook all these wires up to yourself, and you sleep in this get-up for 3 nights, and then you bring the system back to us, and we read all the data off of it. And I was like, oh, and how much is that? He goes, oh, that's only like $200. I was like, okay, obviously I'm going to do that one. I'm not going to spend
Oh, yeah.
$3,000 a night. It was the worst sleep of my night because it's like, what was it? I had this thing around my chest.
For heartbeat?
Yeah, and I think it also measures like your chest like expansion, like your
Okay.
breathing rate. I had this like fucking face mask thing that like had little probes that went up my nose, and I had this like thing I had to clip onto my finger, and then you have to hook it all up, then you have to turn it on and like hit record on this machine, and then the instructions are like, go to sleep like you would normally, and it's like you're just there like covered in all these wires. Like, how the fuck do you sleep?
Could
in
you
this?
sleep on your side at all?
Not really. Like I could kind of turn a little bit, but it's like for 3 nights I was just
Sounds
like
awful. You must
I
have been so
dreaded
cranky.
going to sleep because it was like there was one position I could sleep in.
Doesn't it defeat the purpose if it's like just
Yeah,
completely
like, let's
ruining
test
your
your sleep.
Yeah, I don't know.
And let's put all
So
the
now,
shit on you.
having experienced that, would you take the $3,000 option of the lovely
But see,
night's
the
sleep?
thing I started thinking is like, how much more shit do they hook you up with there to justify like the $3,000?
It's probably like they probably still put some of the same stuff on you.
I bet it's more.
I feel like
Oh, I think they just watch.
because they were hooking you up though, that would put you at peace. Like when
Like, maybe
other
they could tape
people,
it up and,
yeah,
like,
like when
do it
other
right.
people are messing with you and all you have to do is lie there, I'd be like, oh, I'm getting sleepy now.
Yeah, but then you would always think like someone's watching me sleep, and that would probably get to you.
No,
I
I
don't-
could-
Like
I'm
I feel like that would be
bothered by
difficult
that.
for me to fall asleep if I knew people were monitoring me.
Oh yeah.
So I'm
Okay,
like,
so
are
say
my eyes half
nothing-
open, or am I drooling?
Say nothing was different about your sleep get up except there was a webcam in your ceiling and anyone could watch it. Would you find it hard to sleep?
Probably anybody can watch it.
Yeah.
Could probably be a good YouTube channel.
Watch Barbara sleep.
I mean
ASMR.
the whole point of paying $3,000, right, is so you don't have to do all that stuff. They just probably watch you and
No,
study
but I
you
think
and make
they still
observations.
have to hook up that stuff to get like empirical data that
Get all
they
the
can
dirt
measure. Right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So the whole thing,
Yes.
so all that stuff hooks up to this little machine. It's like this big, and you like put it on your nightstand, and it's just got like a little SD card in it. And then like when it's done, like you give it to them, like, all right, we're gonna mail the SD card off, and they'll analyze it.
When was that you did that test?
It was not this past weekend, but the one before. It was like
So you don't have the results
Friday.
yet?
No, I was hoping I'd have them by now.
Damn.
Let you know how
How long
fucked
your
up I am.
apnea was.
Yeah.
So does it just measure how long you stop breathing?
Yeah, I think, and it also measures like the oxygen level in your blood. I think that's what the finger one was for.
Right.
But yeah, so it's interesting. So it's awful. Like having apnea is terrible because sometimes I'll be in a dream, totally normal dream, everything's fine. Then like partway through the dream, my dream self has trouble breathing, and then like
God.
yeah, my dream self like can't breathe.
I like
And-
the idea of you being in this awesome dream and you're like, this is going really well. In a moment, I'm going to start choking to death, so I better make the most of this.
Yeah,
Might
and it's just
wake
like,
up soon.
and it's awful. Like, imagine, like, if because you're in a dream, you think it's your real life, right? Like,
Yeah.
imagine if you're just like walking around doing something, and all of a sudden it's like you're breathing, but like you're not getting anything. It's just like nothing's coming in, and then I wake up like gasping.
So you can
So funny.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
you can practice like breathing longer, right? Like if you hold your breath, you keep like just doing that over and over and over will increase your lung capacity, right? So like over time
I
you'll
think
be
it's
able.
more to do with mindset, though.
Is it?
I think like the state that your brain is in, because some people go to like a meditative state, and they can breathe. They can stop breathing for like 5 minutes at a time.
So right now, if you get to that state, you would just stop breathing for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's just
probably
like
take a lot of
you teach your brain not to panic.
Really, it's
So that when
nothing
you're super
physical
low on
about just
oxygen-
practicing.
I think that might be involved as well, but it's not.
Because I've been
Like,
wasting a lot of time.
I think you do have to practice. I think you have to practice like expanding your lungs or something.
I would do that when I used to go swimming, and my friends and I would have contests of who could stay underwater the longest.
Why don't you
And
do it now?
Because I could cheat. I could just breathe through my nose.
No, I'm just saying, like, try to like
dunk your head in a bucket.
when you're just like at your desk, like
Let's
hold
get a
your breath. Because like think about it, if you even if you didn't swim, if you could increase your lung capacity and just hold your breath for longer and longer, decrease your
But is it
option of like
actually-
drowning in the world.
Is it actually literal lung capacity? Like, are you expanding the lungs to the point where they can hold more air?
I don't know
or are
if
you
it's
just
that or
breathing
like
better?
be able to deal with the pressure more, but I mean, it would help you out if you're in a situation where you might drown, right? This makes sense to everyone else, right?
Sure.
Well, if you could hold your breath for longer, yeah.
Yeah, so like
You
why
wouldn't
don't
panic
you
as
every
quickly.
day practice
Because
holding your breath?
What are
and
the odds I'm going to drown?
People drown.
Right. What are the odds I'm going to
We're
drown?
also in Texas.
1 in 9.
We're not as close to water
One
as a
in
lot of
nine?
people.
Like I don't get in the water. Like that's not a concern for me.
I know, so you don't know how to handle yourself if you're in the
That's
water.
like saying, why don't you practice?
I don't know how to handle myself in
Karate.
outer space either. Should I fucking practice
Yeah,
holding
but
my
you're
breath
not
for
gonna.
that?
You never accidentally end up
I
in
never
outer
accidentally
space.
end up in the water.
Some people accidentally end up in the water. That's
I
the whole point.
don't.
It's an accident. They don't mean to get in there.
How?
I don't know. Maybe your car falls.
In Austin? Where?
There's a
Yeah,
lake.
this is absolutely ridiculous, Brandon.
We
How
did
many
just have
people die of
floods
drowning
recently.
every year? Can we look that
But
up?
who accidentally get in the water?
Well, I'm sure some people crash cars off
Stanley.
bridges.
I'm sure
Yeah.
this is a tiny number.
I'm kind of with Brandon on this one. I feel like the majority of people who drown don't mean to be in the water. Like their car
You're right.
falls
They don't
in.
want to be in the water at that moment.
And
No,
isn't there
like
that
it's
thing?
not people who are swimming or something. Like I'm sure a lot
Yeah.
of people drown who are swimming or at the lake or
I
whatever.
think the vast majority are people who voluntarily.
Okay,
I mean,
if
in
you
Austin, it's
accidentally
gonna be
find
drunk
yourself in the
people.
water and
If I find myself accidentally in the water, I will let myself sink to the bottom and die because of what the situation. I'm
You
in.
know,
you'll
stupid
think
and
about
getting
it
in
and
the
you're like,
water.
man, if I just would have like expanded my lung capacity, I would have been okay. And the last thought in your mind is going to be, Brandon was right.
I can swim.
That is the last thought.
I can swim.
I think.
I'm an adult.
I think if you crash your car,
I don't float. but-
there's something about you have to wait until you hit the bottom before you do anything.
because
right?
of the pressure.
Like you can't open the door until the car hits the bottom of the riverbed or the
Like
ocean.
you have to, wait for the water to be like equalized between the two or more equalized.
Yeah. Oh god.
Well,
it
at what
just
point,
sucks.
at what depth do you need to exhale as you're rising through the water? Because that's the thing that would freak me out
Well, you have to exhale as you ascend.
as
right?
you ascend, yeah. But I mean, not if you're like 10 feet deep.
Just always
like
keep
at what
your windows
point?
cracked.
What is the bends?
What?
It's when you
Bends.
are really deep under a lot of pressure and you come up too fast. Nitrogen bubbles form in your brain.
I'm gonna look up.
And it can
science.
properly like paralyze you.
It can
as well,
fuck
can't it?
you up. Yeah,
I've heard about it. I just didn't know like what was actually happening. This is nitrogen.
nitrogen.
Have you guys ever gone
bubbles form in your
scuba
brain.
diving?
No.
No.
Oh fuck that.
I took scuba diving lessons when I was young, and we only like went in a pool. We never went in an ocean or a lake or whatever.
Do you sound like Darth Vader?
Yes, we did. Everyone kept doing that joke. Every single one of us. But they told us, don't hold your breath when you're on the tank and when you're underwater because your lungs could explode. And so that fucked me up. So like while I'm doing the scuba diving, I'm just like, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Because I don't think it's like a actual physical thing where they explode and you die, but
Dan did it I think in a wreckage of a ship, and he said it was really cool because when you're inside of the ship, you don't know which way is up anymore.
Yeah.
Aside from the bubbles, is how you know what way you're facing. So it just feels like you're flying, like swimming
Weird.
through
It was
through
cool.
air. I would like to try it if I wasn't terrified of suffocating.
You remember that video of the divers going through that that boat that had sank? Like, they found a boat. It was somewhere off the coast of Africa, I think. There was a boat that had sank like 10 days before or something, and the divers were going through to like start salvaging it.
Yeah.
And it's pitch black, and while they're going through, they find someone still alive down there.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I think you told me about that.
Yeah, it's like
just like living.
it's like
under
he had found an air pocket
in the dark.
in the dark and was just like in this ship at the bottom of like a lake or something. And it's like, can you imagine being that diver?
Fully content.
I don't think he was content, but imagine being that diver where you're like swimming through a shipwreck. You don't expect to find anyone like that. Like somebody grabs you.
Christ. And then you bludgeon him to death.
I don't know if you can shit yourself in a scuba suit, but I'm sure that guy figured it out pretty quick.
Speaking of which, how you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. The beer's helping me. I took some medicine also before I came on.
Did you?
Just to be safe, to help me get through it.
Gus, how many people do you think die in dive drownings every year?
In the world?
No, in the U.S.
In the U.S., I think 5,000 people a year drown.
3,500 fatal unintentional drownings.
Yeah, as
These are
opposed
just
to
Every drowning is unintentional,
These
my
just
friend.
unintentional
there is
drownings.
no such thing as an intentional drowning unless it's murder.
According to the
Or
Center of
suicide.
Disease Control and Prevention, there are
Unintentional drowning is not the same as someone who didn't intend to be in the water.
well,
It's like boating accidents are the other part of it. It's people who were not on a boat. They are just in the water. And
Shout
had
out to
no
me getting
plan.
pretty close, I guess.
80% are male, Gus. You're male.
I would have guessed way higher.
In the U.S.? Yeah. That seems like a low
I mean, there's
number.
a lot of drunk rich
think
people who
it's-
live on the lake.
I think it's
Can you
10
name all the
people a day.
Yeah, it'd be somewhere around there.
That's still a
dude.
lot of
You're
people,
proud.
though. That scares me.
Just don't unintentionally drown. Unintentional drowning. It's a
I've heard it's quite a good way to go.
I heard, really? That
Yeah,
seems
I've heard
awful.
that from people who have drowned
Yeah.
and been resuscitated.
I thought you were just going to leave it.
They
I've
said it
heard
was
from people
peaceful.
who've drowned.
There's the moment of acceptance where you're just like, oh, I'm done. Lungs fill with water, and then you're just like,
There's a
see you later.
I saw a
so
YouTube
sad.
clip of this. There's a TV show in Australia. I think it's called something like Bondi Rescue. It's about like lifeguards on Bondi Beach in Australia.
I've seen a clip from that with the.
Yeah, and there's this. There's this one episode. There's a clip you can watch online where they all start freaking out because there's like a dude who's being dragged up to shore who's drowned. Like they pull him on the shore. He's dead. Like he's not breathing. His heart's not beating. And
He looks all like blue. Like
yeah, he's like totally blue, and so like they have to rush a defib out to him, and they're doing CPR, and like they're doing first aid, and they get his heart restarted, and then he starts like coughing up water, like he starts coughing up like tons of water, like holy shit, I couldn't drink that much water that he's coughing up, and then they cart him off to the hospital. The guy lives, like he was dead, blue. They bring him back to life, and then like a week or two later, the guy who's still alive, who they brought back to life, comes to the lifeguard house to thank everyone. And they're like, oh, do you want to see the video? Because, we had cameras. Like, do you want to see the video of us pulling you out of the water? He's like, yeah. And he's kind of like laughing. And they show him the video, and he's like, that's me? He's like, I'm dead. Like, he hadn't connected with him. Like, to see yourself, like, as a lifeless blue corpse, essentially.
Not many people see that. That's insane.
Yeah.
He looked super freaked out.
Was this the same video where the defibrillator was like a smart one, where they connected it to him and it kind of just did everything for him?
Yes.
It was timing stuff, and like they just hooked him up and just pressed go, and it was just like,
Yeah. No, they were like, don't touch him. Don't touch him.
Yeah.
Like, everyone stopped touching him.
and he was all like mingled up. 'cause
There's
he
video of
died.
this online?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was on the TV show, so yeah.
It's kind of gruesome. It's not like
Do you get
I guess
past it?
knowing that he lives makes it bearable to watch.
Still, though, that's really fucked up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
But,
don't think you would ever see it without.
The defibrillator was so cool. Like it would shock him and then measure him and like wait and then shock him again, and nobody touched
See,
him.
like, screw expanding your lung capacity. Just carry one of those around with you
I think
at all times.
Just like keep it like connected.
Several years ago, I think the dude who invented those, the automatic external defibrillators,
Yeah.
he got saved by one in Austin.
No way.
Yeah, I think they're installed at a lot of places, and I think he had a heart incident at the airport in Austin, and they used the machine he invented, saved him and brought him back to life.
Damn.
That is the coolest thing ever.
Gavin, so
He's
you have an Apple
Thanks,
Watch,
me.
right?
Yeah,
I do.
High five. Hey.
If there was a way, because it measures your heart rate, right?
Yeah.
If there was a way to connect that to Twitter, to where as soon as like you died, like it detected no more heart rate, you sent like one last tweet.
Oh, that's
But what if it
cool.
malfunctioned?
Well, mine would just be like, I regret nothing. Yeah.
You really regret nothing.
Beep.
No, mine would be delete my browser history.
Isn't there like hospital wristbands that say that? Like, you know, people have those. I forget what they're actually called. They're like a bracelet that has your medical information on it.
Mm-hmm.
And on one side, there was someone who posted online that said, delete my medical history, or delete my browser history. Nobody else saw that?
Was
I
it
don't
Jared
see that.
Fogle?
It's cool.
I love telling a story and everyone just sitting in silence staring at me.
That's the way to punch it up. Hey, punchlines.
No punchlines.
Did you make a Jared Fogle joke over there?
No, I was just asking a simple question. It wasn't a joke.
I think that's a good idea though with the last tweet thing.
Yeah.
Because as I was about to go under, I looked at my last tweet and I was like, that was a really lame tweet. I was just
Yeah.
like replying to someone. It wasn't very funny. So I tweeted like, if this is my last tweet, I died getting my wisdom teeth taken out. Super lame. But I think it'd be good to have one of those in the bag. It's like a will almost.
What was Leonard Nimoy had a good one, right? Remember that?
Oh yeah, it was.
I like to publicly say, if I die, can nobody tweet from my account? It's weird.
Why
Yeah.
would we?
People do that all the time.
Well, it's on Facebook.
Like Paul
usually.
Walker tweets all the time about like Paul Walker movies coming out. It's like,
Oh,
they-
that's weird.
Wait,
weird.
what?
yeah,
I'm sure it's like his
it's his,
his
like
agency
his
or
Still, like,
They
that's
do that
really
with
tacky.
Roger Ebert's account, but I'm okay with it.
If
I mean,
it's
it
a-
depends on the context. Roger Ebert.
Yeah, but if it's a personal account like that, that's kind
Yeah.
of really sketchy to use someone's dead person's account.
Yeah,
to tweet
I'm sure
about
someone got
promotional stuff.
ownership of the account when he died. I'm sure it was like
It's his manager or something.
Yeah.
And using it for promotional stuff, like, that's just weird.
Yeah. It's bizarre.
What was
Yeah, no,
Nimoy's?
with me. Leonard Nimoy's was, a life is like a garden. Perfect moments can be had but not preserved except in memory.
Fart.
Aw.
Wow.
Yeah, the part at the
Could
end.
I just steal that one to be my last tweet?
Yeah, it's like, that was perfect. It
Could I
was
just
really good.
retweet Leonard Nimoy as my last
Did he
tweet?
get shot in his face like after he died, or was that just
That was
that
that was Scotty's remains, wasn't
Scotty? Okay.
it? Yeah.
Yeah. they just said
I
his
don't
ashes.
know that that's a common thing anymore. It's expensive, right? Sending stuff to space.
Oh, I
Yeah.
bet.
very expensive.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that. You know, we've talked about it to death, Bernie and I. I'm really excited for that Martian movie that's coming out later this year.
Which
Based,
one?
The
the
Matt
Martian,
Damon movie?
based on the book that we've talked about ad nauseum at this point.
Did I tell you I
A
started
lot of
watching
people in that movie.
True Detective, by the way?
Oh, really?
I watched the first episode.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's a slow burn, though.
It's slow.
At the beginning. But it's funny because I never read or saw anything about that show because I was trying to keep myself very far away from it. I did not know that Matthew McConaughey was in it.
Yeah, he's really good in
Yeah.
it.
I
he's
didn't know
really,
he
really
was
good.
like one of the main characters.
Yeah, they're both pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
That was the show that it got me. It took a couple episodes or a few episodes to get me into it.
No,
kinda
episode
like
one.
Boss.
Episode one, I was hooked. By the end, like
Really?
right at the end, I was like, "Yes, I'm all about
On
this
True
show."
Detective.
Yeah, but definitely by like episode 3 or 4, that's when
Yeah.
you're like.
And wasn't
they were
season
close
2
to-
kind of disappointing?
Season 2 was very different.
Oh, it finished?
I liked season 2.
Yeah.
A lot of people did not like season 2.
Interesting.
I thought season 2 it did have problems. Season 2 suffered from the fact that I think there were too many characters and too many like branching storylines that took too long to come together at the end. Like the story became so wide and fractured, it was hard to keep track of everything that was going on in all the pieces because it was so complicated. And when it came together, it was almost rushed at the very end. Like, oh well, this stuff's a little too convenient. Like, if they were really going to branch that far, there should have been like another 5 episodes to really pull all the conclusion together.
And I think the setting is just way more relatable. It's just a city as opposed to the first season where it's like rural Louisiana. in
Season
the-
2 is not just
90s.
necessarily a city, though. Season 2 takes place all over California.
All right.
A lot of it's based in one city, but there's like goings on in lots
You
of
see what
other
I'm saying
places.
though, but it's just like the setting in the first season just seemed like
like you couldn't name the city,
extremely cool,
right?
like indifferent.
I watched the trailer to The Martian, and I just realized like how into space movies I am at the moment. Like I love watching space movies on Blu-ray, like all big on a
Mhm.
projector. Are they ever going to release 4K Blu-ray discs?
I think it's all. I think all 4K stuff at this point is like digital delivery.
It's not good enough.
And that's-
It's not.
yeah.
It's too compressiony.
Yeah.
4K doesn't yet look good in the consumer's hand.
The
It looks good projected at the Alamo.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's DCPs. I mean, that's like high quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like consumer level stuff.
I don't want to buy a 4K TV because I just don't want to see like compression.
4K Netflix is pretty good,
Do you have it?
but again, it's like a very limited. I've seen it here.
We have it in the conference room.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I might check
It's
it out.
it's like but it's a very limited selection of stuff,
Yeah.
and you have to pay extra for
We
it.
got
Yeah, Mark-
RTAA.
I
What?
mean, if
Marco
yeah.
Polo. I watch Marco Polo. It's pretty.
if they put Blu-ray on, if they put 4K Blu-rays out and put like an additional like $10 to $15 on the price, I think I'd buy them still. I'm still really into like the losslessness
Yeah,
of Blu-ray.
if it's a movie I really like, I'll get it on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I have plenty of movies on digital, but if it's like one that I'm like really into or like I'm really impressed with like the cinematography, I have to have
Why
it.
is that?
the
I did that
physical
with
copy.
Interstellar.
It looks way Interstellar's
Yeah, I was just
a
like,
perfect
I have
example
to.
of that.
When I was watching it at the IMAX, I was like, I'm definitely getting this on Blu-ray. Even if I don't think the movie's incredible, I'm definitely. I just want to watch it and experience
It's
it on
just
Blu-ray.
the visual quality is
Yeah.
so much better.
Them deep blacks, man.
Yeah, it's the blacks where you really like notice it.
Which is why
Like, when-
in space,
Yeah.
in space movies, like it's so key.
Yeah, and I have a very critical eye as well. Like it was a big part of my job back in the day was just like image quality. But streaming a movie like that, you see the compression in like squares and like gray squares.
I remember when it was probably shortly after Adam Baird started. No, it was maybe a year after Adam Baird started. You were authoring one of the Blu-rays over in the annex at the old building, and you called me over to see like what I thought about like 5 different compression types you had
I
run
remember
through.
that, yeah.
And so I walked over with Adam Baird and I looked at them and I ranked them 1 to 5 from best to worst, and it was the correct answer. Like I
was that order of
I was
bit,
able
right?
to pick the highest quality to the lowest quality. And then when I did that, Adam Baird looks at me and goes, "How the fuck can you tell the difference between any of those?" I was like, "Is it not super obvious to you?"
Yeah.
He's like, I can't tell the difference at all between any of those.
Also, I just want to point out that Adam Baird since then has gotten glasses, so maybe that has something to do with it.
And was that like Halo 1 footage too? Was that like from season 1?
No, that wasn't season 1. It was I think we were looking at Halo 3 stuff at that time.
Yeah. I mean, people feel like there's not a big difference, but if you were to actually put it in front of them, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's way better." It's just
When I was first reading about 4K, like I don't know, it was being shot like maybe a decade ago. At this point was
Yeah.
when you're starting to see 4K. But in every article that I saw written about it, it was that the human eye can't tell the difference between 4K and 2K. And I was like, so that was in my mindset. And then I saw it. I was like, everyone's an idiot. You can totally see the difference.
Wait till you
it's like
see-
4 times more. It's 4 times bigger.
wait till you see 8K.
Have you seen 8K?
Yeah, like we saw 8K at
At NAB.
yeah, it like blows your fucking
That
head.
shit is crazy. It's almost hard to look at.
Yeah.
Wait
'Cause
till
it's
you see
so-
okay.
Like 4K, you're like, this looks pretty good, and you see the 8K, you're like, oh my, like you would think like, oh, that's stupid, it's just overboard, but it's like, it just blows your fucking head off. It's awesome.
Well,
But-
these are the conversations I love because they're going to sound so dumb in like 15 years.
Well, now we have
8K.
audio record of it.
Yeah.
But I remember when we went to NAB and we saw like those 8K displays, they were still obviously, this was a couple of years ago, so they were still like not ready for consumer. Like it was still like prototype stuff and
Yeah.
not quite finished. So like the Sony 8K TV they had was like in their booth, but they had built like walls around it and darkened the area around it to make it like pop even more and
Yeah.
make it like really stand out. Like it was all like a very controlled environment to make sure that the television looked as good as it could.
It's just weird what all these companies grasp onto to like get ahead of everyone else. Like it was, like it was like HD ready for a while, and then it was HD, and then everyone was going ape over the refresh rate. Like, oh, it's 240 hertz. And
Yeah.
nobody cares about that anymore.
Now
Because
everyone
now
hates it.
Now it's curved. It's like nobody knows really what the consumer wants, so they just like go, look at all the.
Well, they need to figure out a new TV. People have been buying new TVs for years, and it's going to get to the point where people are already at the point where like, I don't need one.
Does
ever
anyone still
again.
make curved TVs or did they give up on that yet?
I don't know. I think that was a gimmick. I'm not seeing.
Total gimmick.
I mean,
Michael and Lindsay got a curved TV, and so did Bernie, I think, right?
yeah. I mean, they look cool. It's just I don't think that's the future.
Nah.
There's a Vizio TV that I think is $1,800. It's like 75-inch TV.
Yeah,
That's insane.
it's their 4K
It's
TV.
like, how can you buy less than $2,000 a 75-inch TV?
I don't.
It's massive.
Like your own movie theater.
Yeah.
I don't think they're ever going to have 4K Blu-rays. I think if you're going to get a 4K movie, like a hard copy, it's going to be on like, you'll buy a USB stick with it. And then you just plug that into your TV.
But you could fit a 4K movie on a Blu-ray, on like a dual layer.
I don't know. It might not be very long. Like it might have to be a short movie.
No, yeah, it would, like basically a feature-length thing for us gets up to like 28 gigs, but it's a pretty like liberal
And a Blu-ray is
compression
what,
rate.
50 gigs of storage?
I think it's
For 2 layers?
It's
65
48.
data. Yeah.
It's 48 gigs. But then again, we have a lot of other extra stuff.
We're nerds, guys. Really nerdy.
I wish I could relate.
You could fit it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be all USB. Like that's how you'll buy it.
Remember
don't
how
know.
Titanic was on 2 VHS tapes?
Was it really?
Yeah.
You remember it came like in that
yeah.
fat
That's
case.
No, I think mine was on one of
Case.
those LP VHS.
And then I remember we got the DVD of it too.
For lower quality.
Yeah.
We're just like, Titanic's on one DVD, but 2 VHS tapes.
Yeah.
The future.
I remember
movie is
watching
so
like
long.
half of Magnolia, and then I put the other half in. I'm like, oh, look at the tape. I don't have much to go. And I got to the end. I was like, sweet. And I was like, intermission, put in tape 2. I was like, what the fuck?
Magnolia's a long movie.
Yeah, the movie's really long.
Here, let me read this other thing. I want to remind everyone this episode of the podcast is also brought to you by. So I don't think I'm gonna go back to a conversation. I'm gonna beat a dead horse. I don't think that they'll distribute via USB because it's too easy to plug in your computer.
What's the problem with that?
It's like that people are just gonna be worried about like piracy.
Can't do that
Oh,
with
the
a
piracy
Blu-ray?
aspect of
You
it.
plug a Blu-ray into a computer.
Yeah, I feel like they have insufficient DRM on that. I feel for some reason I feel like USB is not as secure.
I don't know if it's secure. It's just way more efficient and practical. I mean, assuming though the TVs. No, it could just play it. It could stream it off of it. Like
Even
the bit
if-
rates are crazy. Like the bit rate would be fine playing it off a USB 3.
Here's what I think it's going to be. It's not going to be USB. I think it's either going to be a bigger disc, 4K disc, or it will be a service where you can download the entire thing first at a really high bit rate, like 100 gig download onto a device, and then you play it from that.
I mean, I think that's what Sony does. They have like a device you can buy that you hook up to your TV.
It's like a hard drive.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But I don't ever want to stream anything.
No,
I'm taking a step back. Like Netflix is cool, but you're never watching the best quality.
yeah, it's convenient. If it's something you really love, then
Yeah.
it's got to be higher
I
quality.
want to download the entire thing. I want that with YouTube too. I want to just download a YouTube video.
There's just so much more work to like reauthor all that shit. The crazy thing to me is all the movies already exist, like that you can make into 4K. Like you essentially have to take the negative or like the final film of a movie and then hit scan, and then you have a 4K movie. Like like all the movies. Like I don't know why it's not easier to start
Well, it
watching
depends on
everything.
whether they shot on 16 mil or 35.
Oh, but what? Yeah, okay. But I mean, like every big movie shoots on 35.
Yeah.
Like what movie are you thinking it shoots on 16? That's not like.
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
All right, well, not that one then.
It's too fast.
But
Was
it's
it
just
really
like
done on 16?
Well, the high speed was done on 16. My old boss did it, and he had
Oh.
a 16 mil Photosonics camera that did it.
There you go.
it shows me crazy. Like people will just pay for that right now, but they don't have a system. Like it's just
Well,
it's, like lost
it's
money.
really expensive to do that.
To do the scan.
Yeah, because you need a special clean room. Like you can't handle the negative, like the original negative of a film, unless you're in a super clean location with like people wearing suits and stuff. Not like dress suits, but like proper
It's
suits.
a super fancy place.
Yeah.
They require
Yeah.
a tie to get in
Also,
there.
Well,
each
they-
frame is massive. So
Well,
you
they-
need shitloads of hard drives for that stuff too.
Well, they did it at one point. At one point, right? Like every movie there's a digital file of it. Do you think they didn't get it big enough? Like, do you think it's like, oh shit, we didn't get it, like we didn't get like a 4K like snap of all of these movies? Because they exist, right? All these digital files. They already did it once.
Yeah, but
With
they didn't
what?
do it. They probably didn't do it at a high enough resolution.
You don't think so?
No,
Why
they
not?
probably did it at whatever was most efficient at the time. Like, why would they do that when 1080 was fine?
It's true. I mean,
like, if
it
you
was
had
Well, I mean,
choice
like they
now,
first started
why-
doing this. Like, I mean, there was
why would-
Laserdisc, DVD, and then Blu-ray. But I'm sure a lot of the Blu-ray stuff they just took from.
Yeah, but like at this point, like it's like saying, well, why didn't they just scan everything in 32K?
No, I'm just saying, like, what makes you think they didn't?
well,
maybe
they
not
would have
32.
scanned it at the maximum resolution for that film.
Yeah,
So
but there's
if-
no
if
maximum
that-
resolution though for film. It's
There
like
is,
a
though.
chemical
There's like
process.
a maximum clarity that you can get. Like you can't get much more than 4K on film.
Really?
I don't know if
Like,
it's.
if you
There's
scan-
no like. I don't think there's any like way to quantify it.
Like say you
measure it.
scan 35 mil a frame at 8K and at 4K. I don't think there's much there. There's much additional.
You
stuff.
don't think, or you know, there's not much there.
I'm pretty sure that's like one of those limits where it's like it matches between 35 and 16 is like 4K and HD.
I'm
could
gonna
be
take his
wrong.
word for
I
it.
could
He's,
be wrong.
he knows that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
I'm with
remember
Gavin.
they had like a lot of movies in 8K at NAB. They seem pretty good. I agree with you though. It would be to like watch stuff with as minimal
It's
loss.
also all of this is completely wasted on like 99% of consumers.
There you
Like
go.
everyone I went to see Interstellar with didn't notice the IMAX shots, and like we went out and I was like, "There's a lot of IMAX in that. That's crazy." And the people were just like, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?" I was like, "You know, when the frame went from like this, like a widescreen movie, to like this, like floor to ceiling movie," and they're like, "No idea, didn't notice that at all."
Seamless.
It's like, how
Yeah, I
did you
did not
notice it? Like
notice.
hard cuts between shots where it's like, doof, doof, doof.
Yeah, Batman was the worst about that.
Yeah, Batman did
It
that a
was
lot.
super jarring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But most
That's
people,
cool though. Like those like super big shots look really cool.
Yeah.
Most people don't notice. I think I agree with you.
Would you notice?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good.
Man, I got the worst text message in the world. The text message that I think everybody hates. I got yesterday.
Was it, you want to hang out? Was it the one I said?
My mom was having computer problems.
Oh no.
Yeah. And she was like
That's
taking.
gonna happen often. Though.
She was like taking pictures of her computer screen with her iPhone and like texting them to me, and I was like, yeah, you've got a virus.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, your computer's been fucked up.
Is
Like
she
you
one of
need
those-
to turn it off and unplug it right now.
Does she have one of those browser windows that has all the Yahoo and everything attached
Smiley
to
Central.
it? Yeah.
She had a
And I feel
PC.
bad. It's like I could help you and fix this, but the virus has disabled your internet connection. Like you can't get online.
So you had to physically go there and wipe
Right.
it.
And I was like, find someone locally who can help you with
One
that.
of my
Why
grandparents.
don't
And
you
I
do
was like, I texted her. I was like, and don't let them sell you any hardware. I was like, your computer's fine.
Why
They
don't you just go
need to
and do
remove
it?
Because she lives like 4 hours away.
Be a good son.
I got this like at 7 p.m. last night.
That's really far to drive to fix someone's computer.
You could fly.
No, I can't.
You can't fly.
The nearest airport to there is San Antonio.
That's funny. That sucks.
One of
Wow.
my grandparents uses a magnifying glass to read text in a browser window.
Good lord.
And then I think it was either my mom or my dad that's like, you could just go Control plus.
Or just set the size overall to
Yeah.
much bigger.
They were using a magnifying glass on the screen of the computer to read
I don't
things.
want to see like each individual pixel. Yeah. I wonder if dead pixels drive him crazy at that point.
The green light.
It's better she called. Does the story what happened to Paula one time? She was just at work and she got this message, oh, you have a virus in Safari. Call this number to fix it. And she didn't want to bug me, so she called. And this guy picked up and was like, yeah, I work at Mac, your computer's fucked. And she's like, oh, man, what do I need to do? He's like, all right, well, just give me this information. And she was telling me about this, and I was like, this is really, really weird. Like, what did he do? And she's like, well, he remote logged into my computer and started taking control over it. And I was just kind of watching him, like, change all this stuff. I was like, disconnect your computer now. And she was
that's
like, yeah,
fishy.
he was trying to get me to buy some, like, software for it, but I was really busy, so I couldn't. I was
Oh
like,
my
thank
God.
Ugh.
He probably did it for her.
Yeah. I called him back, and I was just like, hello? He's like, oh, I'm this and this. I was like, do you work at Apple? He's like, well, I'm like, no. Do you work at Apple? He's like, no.
I had a really bad experience with someone taking over my computer one time. It was actually someone you guys might know who I dated when I was very young, who I met on the Rooster Teeth site.
I do. I know who you're talking about.
Is it Ben?
No. What?
I don't know many people on the site.
I don't know if you were around.
I don't know many.
This was like in 2004.
Laird?
This person was really good. Shut up. Stop talking. There's something wrong with my computer, and this person who I was dating knew a lot about computers.
Through the internet.
Through the internet, yes. We did meet in person eventually, though. But, and he's like, oh, like, let me get remote access to your computer, and I'll go through it and see if you have any viruses or something. And I was like, okay, but it's like 2 a.m, so I'm gonna go to bed, and if you want to just like do that while I'm sleeping, he's like, yeah, of course. I woke up the next morning, and he was just like, how could you? And I was like, how could I what? He's like, I saw your messages. And I was like, you went through my chat logs? He's like, well, they just happened to be going through, like, I was going through your things to make sure you had no virus, and I saw them. And I was like, and you read them? He's like, yeah, I saw you talking to other guys.
Oh my
I'm like,
god.
Okay.
you're fucking crazy.
So yeah, you didn't actually do anything, right?
No.
If that happens and it turns out the other person did do something, who's in the wrong?
You're in the wrong for snooping.
But if you snoop and find out that your significant other
Then they're
was like
both in the
cheating
wrong.
on you,
They're both awful, terrible people.
you're not exonerated.
No. Because you didn't have trust.
It's
So-
both bad, but one you would break up about, the other one you probably wouldn't have
Phone's
to.
ringing, dude.
Getting a phone call.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
At least you didn't have a webcam and they didn't watch you sleep like our earlier scenario.
That wouldn't have been
He could
weird.
have like taken stuff from your computer. He could have saved stuff.
He might have.
Like downloaded all your shit. And
I was like,
Who are these dudes you're talking to?
just other. You were probably one
Oh,
of them. Yeah.
Yeah, home wrecker.
Yeah. Of us being like, let's webcam. Here, read the definition of this word.
Did you used to do that?
I used to find the most disgusting words that I could and make her read the definition. like felching and
So I'd just be like reading it, and I'd see Gavin on the other side of Skype being like,
What's felching? Can we read that?
you'll look up the definition and read it out. Get it done.
You want
Do
to
it.
recreate it, Barbara? You want to read the definition?
yeah.
I'll pull it up for you, Barbara.
No, I'll let you do it, Brandon. You should have to experience this once in your lifetime.
So, like, talking about that, like, about finding, like, snooping through a significant other's chat log or whatever, like, how fucking crazy is that Ashley Madison leak?
Oh
People
my
are killing
God.
themselves now.
Are they?
2 people have committed suicide,
Fuck.
and they think it's related to the leaks.
It's so fucking
Is it
crazy.
people who were on there? I assume,
I assume so. Like,
or people who were cheated on.
I would assume one or the other.
And
Either way, it's
apparently,
directly
Jack
from
said
that.
today, apparently, like, the website's members was like 90% dudes.
Yeah, I think I read that too. Like 90 to 95%
It's a big old
dudes.
sausage fest
Austin-
on Ashley Madison.
Austin, I think, was one of the top cities for it, but then it was also one of the top cities for single people that were registered for it as well.
Austinites just want to find love somehow,
Yeah.
one way or the other.
It's pretty weird. I think there's also a site too, like you can just give them access to your address book, and they'll tell you if like anyone in your address book is registered.
That's
it's crazy.
too much.
And then some other website has your address book now.
Are you ever scared of plugging your phone into foreign objects?
I know.
Like in a rental car? Because sometimes when you plug it in, the first thing it does is goes downloading contacts. It's
Yeah.
like, no,
Oh.
what are you doing?
Sometimes also like with Silver Car, like you rent a car, then it's like, oh, you can Bluetooth sync your phone, and that way you can take phone calls on it. You know, like the first time I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like I can do hands free and answer my phone. Then you sync your Bluetooth, and like you say, the first thing it does is like downloading contacts. Then like you look at it, it's like every contact you have is on the card. And you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, like if you leave that, is that stuck in the car?
If you leave, I don't know.
Like, does everyone just have all
Right. Yeah. So it's like I don't do that anymore because I'm just scared that
There
my
needs
phone's
to
gonna
be an
synced on
option
there.
in the phone that says never download anything when you connect to a new device.
Well, usually you have
only
to
allow
unlock your
music,
phone.
only allow voice.
Or it's like when you plug your phone into a new computer. It's like trust or don't trust.
Usually
Yeah.
it says like you have to put your passcode in for it to start downloading. At least on mine.
Yeah, but some of the stuff I want to send through the car, like music or
Phone
calling.
calls.
Yeah, but not others. And it's the same with the plane, like when you charge your phone on a plane. I don't know what it's doing with my phone.
There's an Uber driver who
because-
asked me if I wanted to charge my phone, and he like handed me the cord. I'm like, no.
Have you ever been on a plane where it has USB?
Yeah.
And if you're listening to a movie and you pause the movie, you just hear kind of like the normal sort of feedback of the plane through your ears. But if you plug in your phone, you can hear it go like it's like there's data movement. And you can hear it when your phone's plugged in. And when you unplug the phone, it goes away. It's weird. Something's happening when a phone's plugged into the
There's a
lightning cable.
Do you want to, I get felching.
Okay,
Yeah.
go
Okay.
for it.
Felching.
Read it like
Is there
you're
oh,
a
it doesn't tell you
14-year-old girl.
the definite. Like
Keep
the
in mind, I had to read this when I was 16.
Yeah.
Gavin.
The act of sucking semen from any human orifice. Why? The act of sucking semen from any human orifice, example, anus, vagina. It can be done with a drinking straw when semen is deep inside the rectum. Like a regular straw or a crazy
No,
straw?
a drinking straw, you dipshit.
You can have multiple types of drinking straws.
Does this bring memories back for you?
Sure does.
20
we didn't
words.
react like this though when we were younger.
There's something annoying. You're talking about
funny, I love
plugging your phone into a plane. There's something annoying I've seen on some planes where,
Other people are on them?
yeah, other people are on them, which is
This
fucking
one
terrible.
says freshly
Good one,
ejaculated semen. I don't know if it
I
matters.
prefer mine aged. Where it's like you can plug
a
your
good
phone into the
cheese.
entertainment center so you can like play your music or your movies on the screen. But have you ever seen that?
No.
The trick is, or the fucked up thing is, it's not just like a normal USB port. Like it's a special weird adapter that they'll sell you on the plane.
Oh.
It's like $35 or something. And I was like, I don't want to do that. Like,
I
why
don't
isn't
know.
it just a fucking USB port?
$35?
Yeah.
I don't
Fuck
know
that.
why. Like, because a lot of the time, a screen on a plane sucks. Like, there's people's mucky fingerprints all over it, and it's gammy and crap. But your iPad screen is always lovely. So why can't you just stream movies from the plane through the air into your iPad? Mm-hmm. Why can't you do that?
I've been on some
You're getting
flights
greedy.
that do that. Like you just have to connect. Like Southwest kind of does that, where you just have to connect your laptop.
Yeah. That's what was on your head.
You just have to connect your device to the in-flight Wi-Fi, and even if you don't buy the Wi-Fi, you can watch television or movies.
That's great.
That
That's
are
way
streamed.
better.
Yeah, that's cool.
So Southwest does it just like fine with like Flash or some. No, not Flash, because I don't know. They do it somehow. But there's some airlines, like I think United does it, where you have to install a custom like codec or like a custom like player that plays in your browser and plays the movie for you. I'm like, I don't want to do that. Yeah.
That's really wank.
Winamp. Oh.
I feel like they could cut down a lot of the weight. Like under those seats with the entertainment thing, there's always like a big thing that's in the way of your legs. It's like, I guess, powering that thing and keeping the movies there and storing it all onto the screen or something.
I think that's, isn't that where the life jacket is?
No, it's under your seat. This is under the seat in front.
Right.
Like the,
that's the life jacket
Other
for the person in
person's-
front
no,
of you.
it's like to the side. It's like bulky and it's like
Okay.
vertical like this. You'll see it.
I know.
It's there.
I know.
But it's, I feel like they could get rid of all of those if there was just one big central streaming hub to each.
Yeah, if there's just Wi-Fi.
Yeah, just Wi-Fi and like maybe like 10 hard drives.
I'm sure
throughout the plane.
everything that's on a plane is there for a reason.
But I
Yeah,
think,
but I mean, it's an ashtrays on a plane. What's the point of that?
yeah, like I think that shit's like old legacy stuff. They just need
Yeah.
to tear out.
Like the fact that there's a light that says no smoking. Do you think there's just like this community expectation or standard of what's okay to watch on a plane? Because like
Yeah.
you can watch Game of Thrones, you're like, this is no big deal, and then all of a sudden this like huge sex scene just pops up, and it's like, you know, everybody around you can like see
Well,
it.
even
and
if
just-
someone's like in their underwear or something, you still feel weird watching it on a plane because you're just like,
Oh, you meant in the movie? I was like,
in underwear on their plane.
in a movie, in a movie.
I don't feel bad. Don't look at my damn screen.
oh,
I
fair
mean, it's
enough.
just that screen is just for me. If you're watching it,
Yeah, but how are you like just plopping it on the seat in front of you? Or?
I'll do the thing where like I put my movie in a window and like I'll like drag it to the side and I'll like drag it back when it's done or
Yeah.
something like I just feel awkward because normally I like sitting in the aisle and I feel like everyone down the aisle can see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
What's
it's
on
like,
my
if-
screen.
like let's say you're watching Game of Thrones, it's like there's nothing wrong with that, and probably the majority of the people on that flight watch it. But if there's like a nudity scene, you're just like, I swear I'm not like getting excited by this. Or
Well, I
something, or,
mean,
like,
you
watching
know,
this
it's
for
not-
I mean, would
other
you be
reasons.
annoyed if
Promises.
someone was reading the text that you were writing?
Yeah, that would be annoying.
Yeah. So just
Get
that's
one of
the
those
same,
screen privacy things.
It's
I
just
don't-
the same thing. They shouldn't be looking at it.
Yeah,
But this, say if someone was going to read the text, you'd have to be like immediately next to you.
I actually do something that I perceive as nice. I always put subtitles on when I'm watching a movie, so that if someone happens to be seeing the screen, they could watch it with me.
No, but then you're encouraging them.
Oh, it's
You're complaining that they're looking at your screen, but then you're being nice
No,
to
I'm-
them.
I'm not complaining
You are
that-
ultimately Canadian.
I'm saying
You
I
are
don't.
so polite.
I don't pick movies that I wouldn't want other people to watch with, like,
Why?
that people wouldn't judge me for. Like,
Are,
I
are
usually
you
watch
tired
like
of watching the
animated-
Lego movie on flights?
Never. I love that.
You know how
movie.
much money you paid for that seat? It's your seat. Just do whatever you want there.
Yeah.
Don't
What if
think
you
about
didn't,
anyone else?
you didn't really care? You just set up your like iPad with subtitles and put some shitty movie on there, and there's
Yeah.
someone behind you who's
I'm
like, "I
watching
want to look
Jiggly."
away, but I can't."
I'm watching Jack and Jill. Enjoy.
God. There was that other Adam Sandler movie that came out earlier this year that I'd never heard of until like just one day it was available to stream, and I guess like it was the same day that they had it in theaters. The Cobbler. Have you ever even heard of this movie?
No.
No.
Yeah, it's like some Adam Sandler movie where he plays
Does he
like
play himself?
Was
and
it-
his shoe?
he plays.
Is it one of
a-
his serious movies?
I don't know.
And his love
I watched a
interest.
trailer for it once and it looked terrible, and I don't remember anything about it.
He was also in Pixels that came out recently too.
Pixels.
Was that movie good?
I've heard
Probably
nothing but
not.
terrible things about it.
Oh.
Why are you sad about that?
Cause it looked funny. When I saw this, I was like, "This is going to be entertaining."
Yeah, it's got Peter Dinklage in a mullet
Woohoo!
and Pac-Man biting a Japanese man's arm.
Yeah,
Comedy.
It looks so fucking
fucking
stupid.
Oscar winner right there.
I actually prefer the screens that are on the back of the seats because whenever I have a laptop or an iPad, you have to like look down because you usually have it on your tray or something on your lap, so you have to look down. But if it's on the seat, you could just like sit in the chair normally and look straight.
Yeah, but the
more
screens are
comfortable.
so shitty.
They're usually fine.
Some of them are good. Some of them have the like anti-stare stuff from the side.
Yeah.
Anti-stare.
I don't know what it's called.
I can't help people that way.
Well, then they have their own screen.
You're
to
there
watch
with a
whatever they
mirror
want.
trying to reflect your version back at them.
Putting the brightness up all the way.
Could they kick me off the plane if I was watching air disasters?
It'd probably make a lot of people uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I
if
don't know
you
if they
got- if
could
you got
kick you off the
complaint,
What if I
Right.
was like, "Guys, this is for us.
We need
This
to
is
be
I'm just
prepared.
this
In
is
case
just
something goes
research
wrong.
here because I'm just
Oh,
looking
man.
out."
So normally, I love air disasters. I watch that show all the time.
Yeah.
And normally, Esther hates it. She's like, "How can you watch
Yeah,
this? I
Paula,
can't believe
Paula
it."
hates it as well.
But I watched one this past weekend that like Esther was riveted on.
Which one?
Like she absolutely loved it. It was the FedEx 705. It was a FedEx flight from Memphis to San Jose, where another FedEx employee like hitched a ride to get on the plane, and then he tried to kill everyone on the plane and crash it. So it's like he attacked the pilots and the flight engineer with a hammer. and tried to kill them, but then they fought him back. And then while they were all fighting in the plane, the co-pilot started doing a barrel roll and diving the plane to try to keep the attacker off of his feet.
Holy fuck.
And then so they eventually fight the guy off, and then when they land, they interviewed the paramedic who was the first one on the plane. He was like, the whole plane was covered in blood. It's like there were footprints on the ceiling.
Oh,
it was just of blood. It was
a washing machine of blood.
Why did this guy go crazy?
He wanted to make it look like a plane crash, so his family would get life insurance.
Oh.
Got to watch out for those people with those policies,
because apparently, if he died in a work-related accident, his family would get $2.5 million.
So he was willing to kill a bunch of people.
Yeah, obviously, a disturbed individual.
Wow.
That's lunatic. To get a gun, for Christ's sake.
Well, he said that the reason his rationale was the injuries caused by a hammer like that would be almost indistinguishable from a plane crash, so no one would be able to tell what happened. That makes sense. And he had tried to disable the cockpit voice recorder, so there'd be no indication of what actually went wrong.
That is so fucked up.
Well, remember this. There's a disgruntled airline worker who got fired, but he still had his credentials. So he got on the plane with a gun, and he was he shot a couple people, and it was this perfect movie villain ending to the whole plane crash. The attendant came on and talked to the pilot and said, "There's a problem," and the pilot opened up the into the main cabin. He was like, "What's the problem?" And then the guy with the gun turned to him and said, "I'm the problem," and shot him. But it was the perfect setup and end tagline. If you're the guy, you have to be "This is fucked up, but I totally nailed it." Got it. This yeah.
Because
they were recording.
Can you imagine if he flubbed it? If he was like, you're damn it.
Close the door. Let's do it again.
No.
One time I've flown a lot, right? I mean, we've talked about this a lot. I've been on many, many flights. One time I was flying out of Sacramento, and I was it was a smaller plane. It was an Embraer, and there were not very many people on the flight. It was a Sacramento to Austin nonstop. And I remember I was for some reason I was one of the first people on the plane, and I got in, I sat down, and I saw the flight attendants and the captain and first officer talking, and I kind of overheard them, and I don't remember exactly what they said, but the head flight attendant was like, "Okay, so on takeoff, whatever, if there's a problem, the code word, what I'll say over the flight is, I'll say this sentence, and you'll know that something's wrong." The pilot's like, "Okay, got it." I was like, "What the fuck was that?"
What was it? Did you hear the sentence?
I heard this. I don't remember what it is now.
You should have memorized the sentence and said it to the flight attendant. She'd be like, "What?" What?
But I was like, do they always do that? I've never heard that on another flight.
They probably have some type of code word or code phrase that they use. I'm sure they do.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, but it was
unless they're flying to Oklahoma.
But since I'd never heard it before, I was like, should I be worried? Is there a threat or some kind of problem I should know about?
Just touch the plane before you get on. You're fine.
We had one of those at the supermarket I worked at, where there was always a sentence that they would read out over the loudspeaker. They would name a fake employee to go somewhere, and everyone would be like, "Oh, someone's shoplifting." So all the beefier looking people would go to the door to try and, because you can never stop anyone from stealing. You could just try and deter them. And some people knew this. There was a guy who always used to steal stuff. He used to come in, grab a bottle of whiskey and be like, "I'm taking it," and then we'd just be like, "All right, bye."
You didn't call the police as soon as you saw him?
Call the police, yeah, but it's
But I mean, as soon as you saw him walking in, you'd be like, "Oh shit."
I guess he did it enough times, and eventually we stopped letting him in.
Why aren't you taught not to actually follow people shoplifting outside the store? Because then you could put yourself in danger. As just an employee of a grocery store or a Target.
Yeah, we're just told never to do. Just anyone attacked you on a checkout with an object, wouldn't be a gun probably, but
the orientation at Bennigan's tells you
just had to give them the money.
If somebody walks away and they don't pay you, just let them go.
Yeah, it's the same thing at a bank where, or a bank robber will just show a note "Give me all your money."
Yeah.
Well, it's different. Someone robbing a bank is different than someone just casually stealing eggs.
No, but I mean in the scenario he was giving, where he said if someone tries to steal from a cashier.
Yeah.
It's relevant, you motherfucker.
I didn't hear
if you
the
were listening to the
cashier
conversation
part.
that was happening.
I didn't hear
You would
it.
see how fucking relevant it was.
I'm so far away. I'm used to being on the couch.
Are you?
What if the three of us sit there?
That would just be awkward.
We need a small couch.
This couch sucks.
I'm sick of hearing shit talked about that couch.
It's a nice couch. I think
The
it's
couch
pretty.
is fine.
I only do it because
Look
it
how
bothers
long
you.
it is. You can fit 4 people on this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, at 3 easily.
Yeah.
So why don't I come on.
The pillows are sitting here.
Yeah, the pillows have to have a place, Brandon.
I can't believe I've dealt with this.
Do you think if you hear about it enough, you'll eventually just get a new couch?
No, that makes me want to keep this couch more.
Gavin, have I ever told you how much I
Spite.
love this couch? I'm going to talk about how much I love this couch all the time.
So I feel compelled to talk about how someone's making a lot of noise over there. I feel compelled to talk about the fact that we're going to be at PAX Prime
Oh, yeah.
this weekend. We're going to be there the entire show from Friday to Monday. I won't be there Monday, but Barbara will be there Monday.
I'm going to be the only person at the booth on Monday.
Why?
Because everyone else flies out on Sunday
Why
or
don't you
Monday
fly out
morning.
too?
Because PAX goes till Monday.
I don't know why everyone else is leaving early. I'm leaving early because I'm going early. So
PAX goes Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday this year.
So what? You're going Thursday?
I'm going even earlier.
He's going for something else. In
Yeah, I got
Seattle.
something else I got to do
Doing
first. Doing
business?
Yeah, doing business in
Nice.
Seattle.
So come meet Barbara at our booth on Monday. I'll be there standing and waving.
Waving like the queen.
All of us before then, and we're also gonna Funhouse is gonna be doing Dude Soup Live on Saturday at a place there, really close to the convention center. It's walking distance, and tickets are still on sale. So you can pick some up.
They had a thing at the YouTube space.
They did. They just had it. How was it? You were there
It
this
was
weekend.
great. Those guys are really funny.
What do they do on stage?
They just do a
tell
podcast.
funnies?
They had gameplay going. They were playing Fallout Shelter, I believe, and they just do like a podcast. They talk about games and other topics and stuff.
Mhm.
Sounds
It's just
cool.
like the Dude Soup podcast, but
Yeah, exactly.
live.
These guys are funny as dicks.
Those guys are really funny. Makes me mad.
James is funny as hell.
And
They're all
happy.
funny. They're all way funnier than us. Like
And
I watch their
happy.
content, and I'm just like, man, that'd be nice to be
Yeah,
funny.
like when they first joined Rooster Teeth and like they put like their first videos out, and I was watching. I was like, those guys are way funnier than us. It was like the first video they put out. I was like, that's fucking hilarious.
The
Like, it's
jig is
really
up.
funny. I was like, everyone's gonna know we're phonies now.
Yep.
So-
People already know that though.
Yeah, so go check that out.
And
Then
then-
in non-event related news, we have a new podcast we're launching tomorrow, Sports Ball. So
Yeah.
actually, it's
Sports ball.
Tuesday. So if you're watching the live stream, it's tomorrow. If you're not, it might be out already. But it's going to be Tuesday on the website. You can check it out. It's going to be sports-related stuff.
At 5:00 p.m. Correct?
Yeah, featuring Joel Heyman, Jack Patillo, and Tyler Coe.
Bum bum bum. Who's standing right behind the camera right now?
We had a meeting about it a couple weeks ago. We went out for drinks and like food. Joel's crazy.
You were in that meeting?
Yeah.
What did you contribute
It was.
to that
I
meeting?
think it was I said we should meet, and then Tyler was like, "Yeah."
What did you put forward in that meeting?
I
Like, what was some of your input to that meeting?
well, now I'm on the spot. That's
You're on the spot. I'm the one's on hiatus.
I had a lot of input.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You're not
I've been
saying
involved
any
in
of it.
the sports stuff for a
I
long
love when
time.
Brandon's voice goes high.
Stop,
I just seen you add stuff to other meetings. I'm trying to picture what you would add to that meeting.
Sports.
keep going.
We're all just
I
awkwardly
think
looking at
I think
Brandon.
the sports ball logo is my favorite logo.
It
that
looks
we've ever
really
put
good.
out.
I haven't seen it. Do we have it?
Can we show it?
Are we allowed to show it?
I don't know. They probably don't even have it. They have it queued up.
Oh, Patrick has it.
Vamp, quick, Vamp,
We could-
Brandon.
I think we could show
do you
it. I
not
mean,
do you
it's
not
going
like
live
me
tomorrow.
chiming in the Monday morning meetings? Do I,
think
talk
you're
too
fine.
much?
It's just
I think you have a lot of important things to say, Brandon.
yeah, you got a lot on. You got a lot of hands.
You
and
got a
lot
lot
of pots.
on.
A lot of hands and a lot of pots.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh.
I just try and picture you doing stuff.
I'm like, say it. You're trying to
Goes the
say
voice again.
something.
It's such a weird dig at Brandon that you're.
Yeah.
It's not a dig. It's
I'm just
a
trying to
question.
picture. I'm trying to picture you contributing anything to anything.
The
Brandon
most
invited
important
me to
thing
that
we were talking
meeting.
about is just like having fun, because basically the whole show is whenever we want to talk sports on the podcast, and then Bernie and Gus would yell at us to stop talking about
No,
sports.
no. You're not remembering that correctly. We would yell at Jack because he would get obsessively detailed about it to the level that nobody cares.
Jack
Okay.
getting obsessively
So
detailed.
congrats on
about
having him on your first episode, Tyler. I'm really sorry in advance.
So yeah, it's just kind
Hey,
of like
Jack's
doing the
good,
stuff
he's
that we would
passionate.
normally talk about on like outside of the office or in the office, and talking about it on the show.
There it is.
That looks real. That looks like a real thing.
Do you know why I like it so much?
Why?
Look at the balls.
Because penis? I gotta say, that is way too close to the Arsenal emblem, though.
Man, Crystal Palace, number 4
Sports
Are
ball.
they
in the rankings.
Really?
That is a nice logo.
Nah, it's too similar to Arsenal.
You done good. Sports ball.
It's gonna be a decent show.
It's going to exist.
Brandon's gonna contribute.
All right, well, we got to wrap up. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll hopefully see you guys at PAX this weekend.
I'm gonna
and
eat
make sure
soup.
you check out Sports Ball tomorrow.
Love you.
Bye.